Johnny Turner from VWDiesel.net, and I'm excited to kick off a new project here on the site. We are going to TDI swap this really nice caddy that I bought. Honestly, I probably bought it about a year ago, and I've been trying to get to this project for forever. But now that everything is getting moving along, we're going to go ahead and start the project, and we're going to do that project using parts from our friends at S&P Automotive. Now they have this whole really nice, complete drop-in Mk1 TDI swap. Well, it's not just TDI swap. They offer 1.8T swap, VR6 swap stuff, putting an O1M in there, all sorts of really cool things that used to be really hard to do for a Mk1. They now offer bolt-in solutions for us, which just for the novice individual, for the person that just doesn't have the time to sit and fabricate all these parts, it really offers a great deal for us. So let's look at the kit itself before we start on it, before we start using all the parts, and let's see what all is involved. First off, for an O1A or an O1J, they offer a Eurovan cable clutch adapter kit, complete with cable, and this simply replaces the hydraulic system on the transmission and uses all the original Mk1 stuff so that you don't have to worry about plumbing a new hydraulic system or reinforcing your firewall or any of those random things that you used to have to do to make a O1A, or you know what I'm saying, to make a hydraulic transmission to fit. Along the same lines, we also have custom mounts. This is the back transmission mount that goes underneath the car. This is the passenger side mount. Now this stuff is really heavy duty gauge. I mean, you can beat the shit out of this and it will take it. The mount itself has a clip that and we'll show this to you later on, but it holds the slave cylinder, or the hydraulic. Get all my stuff back on my table. It holds the thingy on there. Well, I'm just drawing a blank today. It happens sometimes. So let's look at what else we have in the kit. We have a passenger side motor mount that is custom for the full 4-cylinder external water pump. You could also use your factory mount. If you have a gas car, you could use the factory mount instead of this. This is just nice and clean and matches the rest of the stuff. And what's cool for the transmission, we have, for the O1A and O1Js, we have a rod shift conversion. So instead of having to install a shift box, the cable shift box like you used to have to do, using this kit, you can convert that to a rod shift style and use all of the original Mk1 parts, which to me is cool to keep it as factory original as possible, and it saves a whole lot of fab time for guys that don't have a big shop, that don't have a big 40x40 garage like I have, to be able to do this, say, in a weekend or over a couple weeks time, and not have to worry about, will this work, will this not work, will this fail, because all these parts are tried and tested before they get out to the public. We also have a speedometer cable so that we can use the factory cluster in the Rabbit and the speedometer will still work. And they also have what is really cool that they've come out with here lately is a bolt-on pedal adapter so that you can bolt your drive-by-wire pedal to your original pedal cluster and not have to do any fab work there also. Before, there were lots of various ways that you could do it. You could make a bracket that would bolt on similar to this. You could weld it onto the car. You could duct tape and zip tie it if you wanted to. There are just lots of different people doing lots of different ways just to mount a drive-by-wire pedal into a Mk1. But this is really nice and really easy. It has one bolt for the cluster and then 3 bolts for the pedal itself, and it makes it plug and play. And that's the point of this whole kit. It's not that you can't build all this stuff yourself. It's not that you can't source all the other parts. It's that they have gone through, put the time and the effort in it to make it easy. I mean, I think that this project will probably take us a day or two to get it in, to get it running, and to get everything going. I mean, it's going to take longer to get the rod shift conversion and the wiring hooked up than it is to do the rest of it. That's how easy this kit is. And a couple pieces that I haven't mentioned yet is a stainless downpipe. This is actually from Texonics Tuning and is made for a ALH or an AHU into a Mark 1. This happens to be, we're going to use an AHU in the vehicle. But if you're putting a Mark 4 ALH in it, you could just order your different bits and put the same thing. I mean, all this kit would stay the same. This would change, and then this passenger mount would change. But it's still a bolt-in solution for you if you are wanting to put a Mark 4 TDI into it. And the last service that they offer as part of this kit that we're going to use is a wiring harness service. Now, wiring tends to stop lots of us from doing the projects that we want to do because, you know, the diagrams of the Bentley manuals are confusing to read for the new guy, or, you know, you don't have wiring or soldering experience, or, you know, the tools themselves aren't expensive, but knowing how to do it, because there's not a big guide out there on the internet on how to do your specific wiring to whatever. So Sal and the guys at S&P try to make that easier by doing it for you. Now this harness here, it looks a little wild and woolly right now, but what I did is I took the factory Mark III harness that came with the motor, I cut everything out, just using my eyeballs and a little bit of common sense, everything down to just the engine wiring itself, and sent it to them in a box. And for about $200, they will take it and they will pare it down even further. They will take and send you everything labeled. You see it right here, each one of these little tabs have labels on them so that you know where they go. They have your powers marked, they have your relays in for everything, and they make it to where if you're throwing this in a Mark 1, it's easy. If you're throwing it in a Samurai, it's easy. If you're putting it in a boat, if you were running it standalone on a bench, that's what this system is for. It takes just the factory harness, which, you know, it's not all nice and bundled up and tied up because you're going to customize that for each individual installation that you're going to use. So they send you a harness back that has been pared down, labeled, wired up, ready to go, so that you just kind of repackage it to the situation that you're going to be in. And for $200-something bucks, this is a great deal for any novice out there that doesn't know how to do the wiring, or even for the experienced guy like me that doesn't have the time to sit down there and do it. And I think this has been a true lifesaver for guys that are starting out. You know, these parts can be made easily enough, or, I mean, there's cheap knockoffs on eBay that people will say, oh, well, why would you spend so much money for this kit when you could buy this on eBay? Well, this is quality parts, and the eBay stuff is shit. We all know how eBay stuff is. Yes, there is occasionally good stuff out there, but the majority of it is just cheap shit. And this definitely is not cheap shit. So this harness here and everything else makes a nice, easy installation package for a Mark 1. But, like I said earlier, it's not cheap, you know, but it is value. You get what you pay for. You have quality components that have been cadmium coated or powder coated or however you want it done. It can cost, you know, the mounts, the cable clutch, the rod shift conversion, all that stuff can cost, you know, $600 bucks. The downpipe is around $400 bucks. The wiring harness is $200 bucks. So say $1,200 to $1,300, and you can have everything to drop it into a Mark 1. And that may be expensive for some people's budgets, but it really is a time saver, and it really is quality stuff that is going to last. And I'm going to put this truck through hell. We're going to add more horsepower to it. We're going to use it as a work truck. You're going to see it quite a bit on the site, and it is going to be used. And I'm going to test these things. I'm going to beat the heck out of them, and we're going to see how it comes up, so that while I say this stuff is good, you're going to see that this stuff is good. And Sal and Perry, they're good guys, so they really deserve your business because they spend all their time supporting the Mark 1 community, supporting the Volkswagen community, and building projects or products like this to make our lives easier. So now that I've been rambling on for a bit, why don't we go ahead and start on this. We'll move over to the truck. If you kind of heard in the background, my friend came over today to help me out. Caleb has a Volkswagen shop too, and he's kind of slow, and he's going to buy one of these kits for his Scirocco, so we're going to tag team it together, and then whenever he goes and buys his, I'm going to go over there and help him do the same thing to his car. So let's get on into the project, and we'll see how this stuff goes. Hopefully within a day or so we can have a running, driving pickup ready to go on down the road.